Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. My name is Ben DeBale. I am the assistant director here at Bethany Influence. Really excited about what we guys have for you today. We're teaming up with Kindred, which is an online giving platform, just to do an informational for you guys. In our headquarters here in Dallas, we actually have some of the Kindred team members working out of the same office as we do. So working very closely with them and actually working with a ton of the churches that we do, realizing that several churches still haven't quite made the leap to online giving. Primarily, the only way they're bringing in gifts is through passing the bucket for offering time on Sunday services. So in 2016, a lot of people, I think every church should be on online giving. And we also work with a lot of churches that do online giving, but aren't necessarily sure how it all works. They might have a giving platform that they've already implemented, been using it for years, and maybe just need the opportunity to see what else is out there and to make sure they have a good, suitable platform for what their needs are. And so that's what today is about. This is about just giving you guys and equipping you with a lot of information that you can use. Be a great thing to include your finance director on, or whoever's in charge of your finance and accounting. So make sure you share this video with them. But I think you're going to learn a ton. And so we have for Kindred, representing Kindred, Mark here, who's in New York City, I think, correct?
Correct.
And Mark is the partners lead at Kindred, so he works with a lot of different churches, and he is going to be guiding us through a pretty brief presentation. We won't take up any more than about 30 minutes of your time, if that. Just kind of give you some basic high-level overview of what to expect. And if you want to do a deeper dive, we'd be more than happy to connect you with somebody at Kindred to get all your questions answered. But Mark, why don't you introduce yourself? And as you begin to talk, I'll probably cut my screen, pull up your slides for you, and let you take it from here.
Sure. Well, guys, it's a privilege to talk to you today. Kindred is honored to be a partner with Bethany Influence. Bethany Influence is doing such incredible work, and we are just grateful to come alongside them. But really, in the goal of any partnership, we seek to help the greater good, right? And so we want to help you, the church leader, the ministry leader, succeed. We want your church to grow. We want your ministry to grow. And so as I'm talking about digital giving and online giving, what does it mean? What are the things you need to look for? What are the things you should run away from, right? We really just want to equip you to make the best decision possible. So first, let me tell you a little bit about myself before we kind of get started, just so you guys can get to know me a little bit. My name's Mark Schrader. Like Ben said, I live in New York City. I have the best love story of all time. I would gladly share it with you. Not now. And I love the church. I feel like I am called to be about the church and to help make the church known. And thankfully, I work with an incredible organization, Kindred, that enables me to do that. So before we get started, I want to share this kind of quote that we kind of pass along to ourselves in the office here at Kindred, and because I really think it applies to you, the church leader. Digital giving is one of the best ways to meet your church exactly where it is. Now, your folks are online, they're on their phones, and so really, digital giving or giving should be where they are, right? This is how you connect the dots from someone just attending a service, right, to actively participating in your vision. So our agenda today is pretty simple. Two things we're going to discuss: the factors to consider in choosing a digital giving solution, and questions and guidelines you should ask yourself, your team, before choosing a digital giving solution. It's not my goal today to sell you on Kindred. Rather, like I said in the intro, to equip you. We want to equip you, the church leader, to make the best decision for your church, because ultimately we want the church to succeed. The local church is the hope of the world, right? But Bill Hybel said that, and we fully believe that statement here at Kindred. So factor one to consider: bottom line price. With any option you consider, start by determining the bottom line price. This is really tough, though, because oftentimes companies don't show all their pricing in one place. Oftentimes there's a variety of prices. If you get this feature, that's an added cost. If you add this feature, it's an added cost. But I want to make sure you're getting the best value, the best bang for your buck, right? So when you're comparing these companies side by side, you can make the best decision for your church. So here's some questions that I think you should ask yourself. Your team should ask themselves before choosing a digital giving solution. Here they are. What's the monthly fee to use the service? What's the processing costs per transaction? So processing costs, for those that don't know, really quick, credit cards charge a processing fee in order for you to make a gift through their service, right? Amex, Discover, MasterCard, they charge a fee. And oftentimes on top of that, the giving company or the giving technology charges a cost. So that's a little bit what processing cost is. What types of cards does the company accept? So do they just accept Amex? Do they just accept MasterCard? Is the processing the same for all types of cards? Because sometimes it's different. Is there a separate merchant account monthly fee? Is there a separate merchant account transaction fee? Are there setup costs? Are there extra fees to use certain giving features? Are there contracts or cancellation costs? Now, I know that's a lot of questions, but these are all good questions to ask yourself before choosing a solution. So to make it easy for you, we're going to help you. So how much should your solution cost? So here's Kindred's recommendation on costs. Do not pay over 2.9% plus 30 cents for processing. So I mentioned that earlier, what processing cost is. So in our recommendation, you should never pay higher than 2.9% plus 30 cents. So to give you an example of this, say I were to give $100 to my church. So to Liberty Church, I'm giving $100. I give it online and my gift is done, right? I don't see anything on the back end, but on the back end of things, there is a processing fee that comes out. So if that rate is 2.9% plus 30 cents, the amount that would come out of my gift, I wouldn't see that. I give the full gross amount, but the church pays that $3.20 of that gift. So that's a little bit about what I'm talking about with the 2.9%, what the processing costs are. Now, if your church is processing over $100,000 in giving, that's online giving, text giving, or we'll just call it digital giving. That's all giving methods included there. You should never pay 2.9%. You should pay much lower than that. If you accept ACH, so that's direct debiting. If I want to give from my bank account to your church's bank account, use a system called ACH to direct debit the amount of money I want to give to your bank account at your church. You should only pay, we recommend $1 or less with that. Continuing on with Kindred's recommendations on cost. Do not do contracts. Please do not do contracts. Avoid paying a separate monthly fee for a merchant service provider, as well as a separate percentage transaction fee for a digital giving solution. Now, I'll give you an example of that because that's a little complex, right? Let's just call it Merchant Give. That's a merchant company. They charge $25 a month and 2.5% plus 30 cents per gift. Okay, so that's one company. The way that Merchant Give works is you can tack on that merchant onto a giving technology, which we're going to call Tithe.e, right? So Tithe.e costs 1.5% plus 30 cents per each gift. So the problem with having a merchant service and having giving technology is oftentimes you have duplicate costs that you're paying. You should not do this. If you are paying a monthly fee, expect things like implementation and customer support, as well as a church-specific features. I cannot stress how important that is. It should all be included for you. So we have the bottom line, right? Now we need to move on. We need to talk about the top line impact. So we all want you to be good stewards of the bottom line costs, but also we must be aware that sometimes you get what you pay for. And there is significant impact that comes from investing in good tools. When you adopt a new digital giving tool, it should simplify the process of giving and increase engagement. A giving tool shouldn't just recommend or it shouldn't redirect, existing dollars, but help your church grow. And I'm going to give you a little bit of an example here to kind of talk to you about the bottom line price and top line impact. By way of example, let's just say your church is doing about $20,000 in digital giving. So that's online giving, that's giving kiosks, right? Just to give you an example here, let's just say you're focused on the top line costs, right? If you're focused on the top line costs, you actually are going to help your church because you're going to help your church grow. This giving solution that you're adapting is looking to add new givers. It's looking to increase the amount of people engaged in giving. So it's going to increase dramatically the amount of giving that you're going to experience. But if you're focused on the bottom line costs and just saving money, it's actually not going to, in the long run, save you the amount of money that you could see by investing into maybe a little bit more expensive. In all reality, I'll give you an example. PayPal is a good example of this. Oftentimes, churches use PayPal by default because they don't really know what giving solution to use. But PayPal isn't devoted to the church. It's just a transaction form. But really, if you were to go to another solution like that was dedicated towards giving in your church, you're going to see dramatic impact because that solution is helping you increase givers, and it's also helping you increase the amount of giving that is being done just by making it simple to give. So here's some questions to help you figure out that top line impact. Is the service built around facilitating payments or gifts? How does the solution help with rollout and implementation? What does support look like 6 months after sign up? It's really important. Does the provider have a record of serving churches? Are there any additional costs associated with support or these features? And so what top line impact should we expect, right? So here's Kindred's recommendation on impact. Your solution should have robust online and mobile giving component. That's really important. So when you're online, it should look incredibly simple. When you're on your phone, it should be incredibly simple. It shouldn't be a giant form. It should be something that everyone can use. Your solution should treat your giving as gifts and not transactional. That's really important. As I, again, mentioned PayPal. When I'm not belittling those that use PayPal, please, by no means, hear me there. But that solution is not dedicated to you, the church leader. It's dedicated to processing transactions. And so I highly encourage you, seek a solution that is dedicated to you, the church leader. Your solution should provide simple accounting and administrative tools. We want this solution to be easy for everybody, even the admins. Hello. Next slide, if you don't mind. Your solution should provide helpful support, onboarding engagement. Your solution should be customized for your church brand. None of these things above should be any additional costs. How about that? So which digital giving solution is right for you? Well, that's honestly, it's a tough, go back one slide, Ben, no worries. It's a tough question. Choosing a solution that's right for you and your church, it really depends on how many different factors you want to bring into it. And it really depends on so many different factors too. So really, it's hard to give you like one uniform answer. I would recommend start by answering the questions that we gave you and some of the guidelines that have been offered in this presentation, and seek counsel. Of course, we would gladly help you. But do your research, do some recon, right? In short, be good stewards of the bottom line, but also be aware that sometimes you get what you pay for. And there is significant impact that comes from investing in good tools. So I want to share with you a little bit about Kindred's impact. I think this is really important. Right now, active churches using Kindred saw their giving grow on average of 5.6% and a 10% increase in new givers. So remember when I was talking about that increase in giving, right? Our solution is dedicated to you, the church leader, and the church. And so our mission is really to help increase generosity, to unleash that generosity by making technology accessible to everyone, right? And so when you do that, you make giving easy, and then people want to give. And so that's where you see that beautiful 10% increase in new givers. The average text gift. So that's obviously one thing that we do really, really well at Kindred. If you haven't heard of us, I hope you research us, look us up, ask around about us. But we are kind of like known for our text giving. That's kind of where we started. And we're seeing on average around $143 per gift. And online, right, you can expect double that. That's pretty cool. That's as of 10/2, so a couple Sundays ago. And right now, 48.9% of donations happen on days other than Sunday. That's really, really important. I think of this in context of normal people, right? Normal people get paid on Thursday or Friday, right? Every other week or maybe once a month. And so a lot of times people like to give as soon as they receive, their paycheck. And that's awesome, right? First fruits, that concept, you should encourage that. And so the beauty of online giving, the beauty really of digital giving as a whole, is it enables you to reach your church exactly where it is. People are used to setting up recurring payments, like for their cell phone bill, for their rent, for whatever it is, that people are used to that. So you should, again, meet them where they are and provide a solution that, oh, I got paid today. Let me pull out my phone. Let me text the amount I want to give. Click send. Done. I just tithed. Thank you, Lord, for the blessing. Look how simple that was, right? And I want to share. Here's a little picture. Oh, this is perfect. This is an Instagram post that Seacoast Church, in the Charlotte area, and actually they're actually pretty expanded too, but they're one of the first churches that did satellite churches really, really well. I would say it's one of the most well-known churches even in America. They're an ARC church. Greg Surratt is the pastor, and I actually had a conversation with Greg Surratt about a few months ago. We were talking about just being guys talking about sports, talking about this or that, and then honestly, as we were talking about current events, then the Louisiana flooding came up, and we're talking about, man, I just wish there was a way to reach them. And I was like, yeah, I really wish. And then all of a sudden clicked to me, why don't we talk about text giving? Why don't we talk about, because they use Kindred on Sundays and the regular weeks, and I said, hey, why don't you use Kindred this Sunday? And he got him thinking, right? He starts developing the idea, well, what if we did use that? And so what he did, so we had a conversation on Thursday, and later that Saturday, he talked to his admins. He said, set up a keyword, flood, which you can see there, on Kindred. And then that Sunday, so this is only a couple days, that Sunday from stage, he said, hey, everyone, I want everyone to engage in this. Everyone can give $20. Everyone text 20 space flood to our text giving number, click send, and your gift will go through. Your gift will go straight to churches down in Louisiana to help the flooding. And so this is, to us, one of the most beautiful stories of engaging a church exactly where it is, engaging the church in a church's vision. So they set up a keyword right there and then, and that Sunday they were able to communicate how to give, how to engage in a church's giving. I'm going to give you some stats here from that. 30% of the people that were giving for the very first time in that offering. 10% of the overall congregation engaged in that giving. Wow, 10%. And they have about 14,000 people that show up on a Sunday throughout their campuses. So that's about 1,400 to 2,000 people engaged in that. Whoa. And On that day, on that one day, $40,000 was raised. Can you say amen? Right? That's just a beautiful story of engaging the people in their congregation at Seacoast with their vision to reach and meet the needs of the church. So beautiful. Now, digital giving has the ability to engage your congregation like never before. It opens the door to a whole new way of thinking about and acting generously. And I hope you find all of this encouraging and helpful. And at Kindred, we simply want to equip you to make the right decision in choosing a digital giving solution. So in partnership with Bethany Influence, we have an amazing promo. You can get 3 months, 3 months for free. By using this promo, you can see where to sign up, kindred.com. You're going to scroll down to the pricing section, and you'll get 3 months for free. If you're not quite ready for that, that's completely understandable. This is my contact information, and you can reach out to me. That's my email. Maybe you want to screenshot this really quick, but that is my cell phone number. You can text me. I'm totally cool with that. You can email me. Whatever is your choice of messaging, that's totally okay with me. We just want to help you. We want to equip you. So I thank you for your time. And Ben, you're actually going to be sending this presentation to people, right?
Yeah, I'm going to send this out. They also compiled a really helpful PDF that has a lot of what we've seen here, but plus some more. So I'm going to send a reminder email and include that as well. Then Mark, thanks so much for the presentation. I think probably the stat that stuck out to me the most is that literally half of all the giving is not happening on weekends. It's happening during the week. And that's huge, especially for pastors of small churches that aren't even on an online platform yet. You're literally missing out on half the potential gifts you can get simply by not offering the opportunity to give online to your congregation. So really important, great presentation. Thanks so much, Mark. And again, everybody that tuned in, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be sending out and linking to some of the PDFs we showed here. If you didn't get the email you're watching on YouTube, just look below in the description. I'll put it there as well. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and have a Merry Christmas.